This dolphin that just did a flip for us is Charlie. He is in much better spirits than when he first made an appearance at Fisherman's Hut, also known as Sarakita Beach. On May 11, 2026, a pod of dolphins appeared in the shallow waters of one of Aruba's beaches. One vulnerable member of the pod was left behind. This pan-tropical dolphin species was not feeling well, and what happened shortly after is a story worth sharing. The Aruba Marine Mammal Foundation sprung into action. Community members became instant volunteers to help nurse Charlie back to health. Local vets came to the rescue. People began providing all kinds of supplies. Fishermen brought sardines for the dolphin. People from all walks of life on this island showed up, continued to show up, and will continue to be there for Charlie. Why? Because this is Aruba. Jolina, the president and founder of the Aruba Marine Mammal Foundation and the heart and soul of this entire operation, gives us a look at Charlie's health before and after the care of her and her team.
First, it was very erratic and sinking. He had no buoyancy and no control of direction and would sink. And how do you say it? Tilting over. So that is now he's strong. It started, the recuperation was slow, but he is strong, he swims, he eats, he wasn't eating, so we had to tube feed him. He's eating fish, and he can go deep down and come back up to breathe. So he swims, turns up, the ventral side up, turns upside down, turns back on his own. So he's showing his regular behavior back, but he's still not energetic enough. We're moving him now to see if in the coming 2 days he will bring up that strength.
Because initially, with the vet, we were having to force feed Charlie with a tube. We were having to give him liquid, and we were having to give him liquidized sardines. And putting a tube into a dolphin's stomach, as you can imagine, is quite traumatic for everybody, and Charlie too. Even though I've learnt that dolphins don't actually have a reflux on their throat, so it probably wasn't as bad for him as it was for us. But when he started to eat, we didn't have to force feed him anymore.
The milestones Charlie has reached would not have been made possible without everyone's contributions and support so far. It is made possible by an all-hands-on-deck response.
But we, Aruba, the entire community, we are volunteers. Some ACF put staff available. Pelican Adventures put staff available. We have the catamarans, we're in their spot. They're all collaborating. They're all moving further down, sacrificing tourists for us, for giving the dolphin a chance.
You know, people have been fantastic. I've been here every day, and people just want to help. They don't know how they can help, but they just want to help in some ways. So we've had tourists bringing us snacks. They've been giving us money because they don't know what to do, but they want to do something. We've even had tourists come and do night shifts, which is brilliant. But yeah, people just want to help. They just want to help Charlie.
Now, Angelina, are you Aruban?
Yes, Criollo.
Criollo, are you born and raised here?
Yes.
Tell me how proud you are as the president and founder of the foundation, of the Mammal Foundation, but also just as someone who lives here, how impressed and proud you are of our community, the way that they have just shown their willingness to help.
I think this incident has shown that there is a growth in nature awareness and selflessness. You have to be altruistically inclined to be able to set up such a large group to be able to rescue a dolphin. It would have otherwise not worked, and I'm incredibly positive and hopeful in the direction Aruba is going.
Moving Charlie to this location in Malmak was a 3-hour journey, and that was only the beginning. Charlie requires around-the-clock supervision from volunteers. Being in the water with this dolphin may look like fun right now, right? But what about at 3 in the morning? The volunteers helping Charlie work in shifts. This is a 24-hour commitment, not just a few minutes. The dedication is real, and it is hard work.
Well, first of all, you have to be very calm also. And you have to be a good swimmer. You have to handle the cold. You have to handle the lack of sleep. The water gets very cold. It's not a comfortable thing to do at all. It's definitely altruistic. The midnight shifts, also you do not see everything, you know, but in the daytime you have another stressors for the volunteers, which are you have to keep the boats away, you have to keep swimmers away, you have to concentrate on the care of the dolphin. We have to have enough fish.
We have all his food is kept in there. So we have sardines and squid.
Can I pick one up?
Yeah. So they're all fresh every day. But really, he can eat as much as he wants to. We're not limiting him now.
Okay.
Initially, we were concerned that we were going to overfeed him, but we were told by the vet that it's fine, he's got a lot of catching up to do. So we feed him when he's hungry, and he shows us that he's hungry by opening his mouth and, you know.
How many hours a day are you spending here?
Me?
Yes.
I'm here from 5, if I arrive at 5, sometimes 5:30, until 8 at night.
5:30 in the morning?
Yes. The volunteers, there's some volunteers that do the same thing. They come from 7 in the morning to 6 at night. Then you have volunteers that come 4 hours, go home for 2 hours, come back for 4 hours. Everybody has a shift according to their possibilities. But I tell you, there are some amazing volunteers.
People of all kinds have stepped up, and thank goodness, because it takes all kinds of people to make this incredible operation work. Operation Get Charlie Back Home.
All types of personalities you need. You need fighters to stop the bullying that is happening at the location. You need soft-spoken people to keep the ambience friendly and harmonious. You need funny people to keep the energy going. You need strong people to handle the dolphin. So you need all types of personalities, and we're having them all. It's just also very interesting to see the dynamic, but it's going really, really well.
So the community has delivered all these people?
Yes, absolutely.
Aside from the therapy work with Charlie in the water, there is also significant work happening on land. Jolina shows us how it's done.
So we are putting in this, we call the ringer like that. We inject it in the fish. When we feed him, then he gets, because he has to get back to strength and he's dehydrated. We did this in 1998 too, so, okay. So then you go like this. You fill up the belly. You feel it in the hand, you feel it growing. We've had amazing fishermen. It keeps bringing. But we do need more.
What you've seen with the outpouring of love and support, do you think this reflects, because people say Aruba's one happy island, and one of the greatest assets we have is our people. So do you think what you've seen reflects that?
Absolutely. It's the beautiful side of the Aruba people. It's amazing. The fishermen, we have a lot of in-kind support for a lot of things. Yes, it is heartwarming, and I'm very, very, very deeply, it's not only me, the entire group is proud. We have more than 50 volunteers now, and the entire group, every single one of them is important, is part of the admirable work that's being done, and people that are donating and sending in-kind donations also are also a very admirable group.
Do you live here?
Yes, I do.
Samantha, so Aruba's known as one happy island, and of course we're also known for our people. That's one of our greatest assets. So talk about how impressed you are with what you've seen, with how the community has stepped up in Aruba.
It's been amazing. Everyone's just come together, and it's not about egos, it's about Charlie. Everyone just wants to help Charlie, and we all want to help him get home. But everyone, Dutch people, Aruban people, all people have just come together just because we've got one common goal, because we've got to help Charlie.
Our community continues to amaze me every single day. This story is dedicated to everyone who has lent a helping hand to Charlie the dolphin. Whether you are a fisherman dropping off fish, a catamaran captain who moved your vessel, a cook preparing breakfast in the kitchen, or a driver delivering that breakfast to the volunteers, we cannot forget the international support we have received, nor our local vets. This story is absolutely dedicated to the volunteers spending countless hours in the ocean with Charlie, day and night, like Samantha and Eveline. And this story is most certainly dedicated to Jolina Henriquez, the heart and soul of the operation. Operation Get Charlie Back Home.
Yes, we work No, I'm just saying that she is amazing today. I mean, she's amazing.
I believe you. Thank you, Aruba, for giving Charlie a second chance. Signing off, I'm Yentl Lieuw.